I have been a professional filmmaker for over 16 years, worked with hundreds of brands, over thousands of projects. I have made all these mistakes, learned them the hard way so you do not have to. By the end of this video, you will know exactly what is holding your project back and how to fix it. This is one I did personally, and I see it in a lot of creators who I help out. I just felt overwhelmed, and I believed and had the attitude that the way I was doing it was just fine. When you start transitioning from being a one-man solo creator into bringing help along on your projects, what you will find is that you just bring everyone along and everyone just kind of mucks in and does everything. This is a mistake for two different reasons. The first one is when people have assigned responsibilities on a project, you just simply get more done, equaling a better end product. And the second one is you are not going to change the industry. As you get further along in your career, opportunities will come along where you and your team need to fit in the roles that already exist. It is totally fine adding multiple responsibilities to singular people on the smaller sets, as you're probably going to have to do that. But just copy the roles and responsibilities that already exist in the bigger productions for when the opportunity comes later. There is an extra fine line here, so I hope I don't fuel anyone to become a dick. But I actually think that if you just agree and stay quiet with everything a director, a producer, a client says, you actually make yourself look less skilled. This is harder when working with new people and gets much easier as you build a rapport. But I believe questioning and challenging ideas on a project to try and make the project better, so in a constructive way, this will make you seem much more interested. Again, do not go creating problems here or making anybody's life hard work. If someone pushes back and says that's simply not possible, just agree and move on. The trick here is to never go above the person in charge and never go below them. Just question in a helpful way. I wanted this mistake here because I think it's related to the previous one, and I've been here myself and I see so many creators blame the process. Just the nature of how everything works, it's super easy to find the problems and not the solutions. You're not always going to get your own way in this industry, so try your hardest to not go around explaining to everyone that is why the project was shit. Try your hardest to find ways to make other people's ideas even better. As creatives, it is super hard to be proud of what you create, as we are so critical of every last thing we make. So try and go out of your way to be proud of everything you do, regardless of whether it's your idea or someone else's idea, as that is the key to being happy in this industry. This is a super simple one, but most creators totally miss how they get their return on investment from this one. The amount of times I have been rehired and had a producer, a client, a director mention personally to me they like working with me because I give them a video feed. A client or director's monitor is such a simple, easy way to not only look professional but become the favourite guy they like to hire. It makes them feel involved in the creative process and they feel like they are truly seeing everything that is happening. It does not need to be an expensive one either. Most people in this scenario do not give a shit if it is a small HD one or a cheaper one from Amazon. So just get the least expensive way to get a clean video feed to the person hiring you. I have zero time for this one. It is just simply non-negotiable, like zero exceptions, but most people will learn the hard way as they think they can save a little bit of money. There are two massive reasons that you should never buy a cheap light stand. The first one is, imagine hiring someone, a professional who you pay per hour, and then they pull out a light stand that looks like it belongs on someone's ring light to create a TikTok video in a bedroom. And number two is simply safety. You just can't have light stands falling over. Believe me on this one, it will cost you much more money to have a light stand fall over and be embarrassed on a set than it would the little bit more it costs to move into a C-stand. You need to get into the mindset that the cheapest stand you buy is a C-stand. And if you are not buying one of those, it should be something more expensive, more professional, and even safer. This one here is like banging my head on a brick wall sometimes, but I also totally get why it happens. I see it all the time when coaching people over on Cine Guides, but I don't blame us creators, it's more the industry's fault. Being hired and turning up to a project and being asked for a normal focal length, and I do say normal in brackets, as a professional, for me, is just simply not acceptable. I'm a strong believer in purchasing zoom lenses first. I think that you need to cover from 16mm all the way to 200mm or full frame equivalents before you go buying any prime lenses. I just place myself in the shoes of the person hiring a cinematographer or videographer and asking for a tight shot, and them explaining to me that they only have a 50mm prime and they want to move closer, or what about if you cannot get the camera closer at all. I think you're totally fine though not owning, say, niche lenses, so like an 8mm fisheye, 400mm wildlife lens, a probe lens. You get the idea. Just own that kind of medium, wide and tele range. There is always time to pick up prime lenses later down the road if you are just building out your kit. Don't believe into the hype that you need f1.4 to create cinematic images, because in video it is simply not true. Not enough depth of field is actually a negative thing if you ask me, so just get the full range covered ASAP. Out of everything on this list, this may be the most recent realization I've had. In the last couple of years, this has been something I've totally changed my mindset on, because it is one of those, like a director's monitor, that does not have a direct return on investment. A few years ago, when I first got the opportunity to try out a headset for comms on a project, it was simply a penny drop moment for me. So I reached out to Accsoon asking if they want to sponsor this section of the video, as I have been using their new Como SE budget headset across all my recent projects. The list is endless that you get from using a headset like this on a project. All the little 2 minutes here and 5 minutes there really do add up across a full day of production. It's the fact that when you turn up to a set or a project, you all get out the headsets with multiple team members, people just think that you are serious about your craft. So when I received the Como SE a couple months ago and started using them, I was pretty confused because I still to this day don't know what is actually budget. The build quality is the best I have ever used across any headset in the world of video production. The design, personally, I think looks incredible. I think they look way better. I even think they look better than the more expensive Como headsets from Accsoon themselves. They are super easy to use. You put them on, turn them on, and they pretty much just work. For every master headset, you can have up to 5 total headsets in a kit. And there is also a microphone built on the outside of the headsets, which enables noise cancelling, allowing you and other team members to hear each other in busy environments. The carry case is also very, very good. It's similar to what you would get from an Aperture Light, which, as you can imagine, for a headset what weighs a lot less, is really secure and really well made. You get everything included you need: rechargeable batteries, one singular charger for all the batteries, foam ear cups and leather ear cups, depending on which one you prefer. And my favourite feature of all is one singular fully charged battery will give you 30+ hours of battery life, meaning that no matter how much you use the headsets, as long as you've charged them the day before, they will never run out on a day's production. It is now my own personal go-to headset. It is an easy recommendation if anyone wants to know where to go to jump into the world of headsets to look more professional, save time and make better videos. Again, I put this one here because it's quite related to the previous one, and it's something that I've learned through speaking to people through cine guides and helping people there. I truly believe that if most creators spent half as much energy they did researching and buying new lenses and cameras, and replace that with reaching out to other creators to build a team and work on projects, even free projects, they would be 5 times further along in their career. Think about that one video that you watched and you one day want to achieve that kind of amazing piece of work and get to that level. Then ask yourself the question, was that video created by one person alone? The answer is simply no. So then the other option must be that we are just sitting around waiting for someone to ring our phone, drop us a DM and say, here's an amazing team and a massive budget, now go and create. That is simply unrealistic and not going to happen. The number one fastest way you can grow and further your career is to find people and create conversation. Fuck your new camera and fuck your new lens. Find people and create stuff. This one is maybe the biggest difference I've seen from changing one singular thing. Because for some reason, we think that planning is all about going into every last second and minute of every day and planning out every last shot. I would say on every 100 shoot days I have done in my career, 95 plus of them have had at least one thing go wrong on the day. Yet people don't really make backup plans or plan for stuff to go wrong. They think everything is going to go smooth and to the plan, and then when it goes wrong on the day, panic and stress. My favourite practical thing to do here and what you can take away is create a priority list. List the shots in order from most important to least important, and then on the shoot day when shit goes wrong, start removing from the bottom upwards. I'm going to bundle two together here for double the value. Number one, I should not have to say this, but unfortunately I do. If your call time is 9 AM, then you should be getting there for 8:30 AM. Being late is a bad look. Yes, there are definitely things out of our control that are going to happen. If you live far away from a location, book a hotel nearby. But if you are being late on your own back with no real reason, there is no excuses, fix it. Number two, and the reason I've attached it here, is a gear checklist. If I'm honest, I'm personally attacking myself here as I'm so bad at forgetting stuff for shoots. I do write gear checklists, but I just don't follow them good enough, and I will hold myself accountable. Because we are being hired as professionals, these are stuff we just simply have to do. This is another one that requires balance, and I've got to be careful because I don't want to give out bad advice. But I have seen this one a lot in the past. You can definitely get too friendly with a client or a producer. In my personal experience, my best working relationships are the ones that I have kept professional. Yes, I definitely like the people I work with, and yes, I definitely want to help them, but you need boundaries here. Otherwise, I see that the freebie stuff starts creeping, or they'll just start to push the limits on projects. Maybe keeping them at arm's reach is the best way to describe this one, because you don't want to make your job your life. Work-life balance is super important. I take this one a little bit for granted as I'm personally not that kind of person that does it, but now I'm coaching others, I see this one affecting so many people. I've always been pretty business minded for one reason or another, so that had me coming from a pretty well organized and planned approach. But some people are just pure creatives, and this is amazing, but it definitely has its negatives. It's about self-awareness here. I see these purely creative people all the time thinking being creative trumps organization, and that is simply not true. The truth is most people hiring you would probably prefer the project to go super smooth and problem free than you coming, creating chaos and being super creative. Again, some balance required, but remember, creativity fails with bad organization. Even if you avoid all these mistakes on set, your project can still fall apart in the edit, so watch this video right here to avoid it.